What's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm Jacob. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. If you've been here a while, welcome back. I'm happy to have all of you. So, I'm wearing a jacket in August in Georgia. Extremely uncharacteristic weather we're having here this week. It has been it's been very rainy for the past probably week and a half, 2 weeks, and now it's gotten chilly, really chilly. But it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. Very uncharacteristic, though. We spent the entire week doing a shop overhaul. I'm sure a lot of you have been paying attention, and you've seen the shorts that I've been posting. I would like to do a full shop tour when I get everything exactly the way I want it. And we're almost there. We've got one more room that we need to overhaul in the shop, and we will be at our max potential for this building, for this shop. So that's exciting. That's definitely a big goal checked off. It's something that I didn't foresee happening in the time that we've made it happen, that's for sure. I don't know. There's been a lot of ups and downs here, but in truth, everything has worked out perfect, and I can't really complain. So with that being said, we're just doing our best to stay moving and stay efficient here while we're here. So that's all we can do. So in recent, I have received a package from my buddy Zach Schmidt, and I got to give a shout out. Thank you, Zach. Zach sent me another Work Tough Gear knife. This is the Red Wolf, and he said, you know, when I saw it, I thought of you. And you were spot on, bud. The colors are just spot on. I love them. I'm not crazy about orange unless it's an accent color, and I think it goes best with greens and things of that nature. And there it is. It is awesome looking. I love it. I really do. When I first saw the Red Wolf on somebody else's channel, I thought, you know what? I really like that one. I thought the same with the Steadfast. But I do really like this. It's got wax all over it. This thing is in Bowler K329. This is a pretty awesome knife. So Zach suggested that we should do a favorite knives video, and I will do a favorite knives video because he sent me quite a bit, and I want to talk about them, and we'll definitely go over it and tell you what I really enjoy about all of them. Anyway, he also sent me some really cool handle materials as well. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate you, bud. You know, I'm not the only one that Zach is extremely kind to. He likes to send knives to lots of people. So anyway, what's next? Well, when I get back in the shop on Monday, I'm gonna be cracking into the Lone Star run designed by Zach, and I'm ready to get cranking on it. I've got a pattern made, and I do need to get like a Kydex mold made and things of that nature. Get myself set up for the run. But we're gonna do a run of those. New Jersey Steel Baron is having a low point on steel right now. AEBL, Nitro V, and several others. It's just time for more steel to come in. I still have plenty of steel, enough to get me through for a little while, whilst we wait for that stuff to come back in stock. But the Lone Star is next, and I'm going to finish the first one this week, if nothing else. I'm going to get the run started and kicked off. I would like to see the run heat treated next week. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see it finished next week, but that's not going to happen. I don't think it will anyway, because I've got to do some setup and and get my tools prepared for all those. Anyway, I'm having a hard time tracking and focusing. We've had a bit of a rough go of things for a little bit, and nothing major. It's all just superficial stuff, but it wears on a mind as things go along, and little stuff just pecks at you. It's exhausting, to say the least, especially when you're already in the middle of a exhausting project. But anyhow, I would like to see all the Lone Stars through heat treat next week. That's where I'm going to go with that. And it'll be nice having extra bench space to do all this. A lot of this stuff didn't have to be done. No, it didn't have to be done. The thing is, my brain does not work unless everything is organized and everything is flowing. And I've got plenty of benches. I had plenty of benches before, but the thing is, every bench was doing multiple jobs, and every table was doing multiple jobs. It didn't need to be like that, because I would lay out Kydex on the Kydex table, which also doubles as my foil packet making table for Nitro V. And every time I'd want to do one of the two, I would have to clean the last tools and all that stuff off of it. So it was a constant back and forth, and I enjoy cleaning. I really like it when it's nice and clean. It's very satisfying to me. But when you're in the middle of trying to do a whole bunch of stuff for the week, it just takes up too much time to have to go back and forth between this job and this job on each bench. So everything for now has a station, and that's going to help tremendously with flow, just getting through it and not have to go back and make space for every new task that needs to be done on every bench. It's a nightmare for a brain like mine to have to do that every time. Another thing is, we've had the space in the shop to do a setup like I have now, and it feels like a waste of space to not use it right. There was so much wasted space before with the last setup. The problem was there was no walk space. Everything was close to the machines. All the tables were spread out so I could get around them in all directions, because again, they serve multiple functions. Then I need to be able to get to both sides of the table. Anyway, losing track again. The biggest issue that I had with it was doing the live streams. Every time I would go to turn around and take you guys to another machine, just picking up and carrying the tripod and the cart, trying to push the cart through a mess or tight spaces and the tripod, it was just not working for me. I have a ton of room now to do whatever I want in between the benches, the big center square bench, the rectangle bench, and all the machines, and take you guys with me for every step. So the live streams will go a lot smoother now. We have a designated space for sheaths, and there's a lot of knife makers, knife companies that don't make their own sheaths, because it is an entire different, it's a different craft. It really is on its own. The machines are the same, but space consumption, again, 50 sheaths are bigger than 50 knives, even though they don't weigh as much. there's more in the sheaths as far as space goes than there is the knives, because I ordered my Kydex in 2 foot by 4 foot sheets, big old sheets, and I could get the Kydex cut into smaller pieces if I wanted, but if I did that, I wouldn't have sheets to just cut what I needed right then and there. I would end up with an excess of one size over the others. That's a guarantee. I just know how that thing goes. So I don't really fool with that too much. I would rather just have the sheets and I can do with it what I will. But that means having the space for those sheets and to pull them out and cut them, and then once the sheaths are molded, you gotta have space for that too. Hell, I'm just a rambling. It's nice. It's gonna be really nice, I'll say that. But anyway, that being said, everything should be much more efficient. I've lost my train of thought because it's started pouring rain again, and I'm standing under a pecan tree, and hopefully it doesn't get too awful wet in this area. Lost my train of thought. So I'm ready to make a big push. I'm ready to make a really big push and start really cranking stuff out. I feel like I've reached another level already of output, and that's the reason why all this space became an issue. This all started to collapse on me. The way I had it set up before, it all started to collapse on me when we started to prepare for Blade Show. When we started to prepare for Blade Show, we did like 60 knives in a couple of weeks, is when I was like, all right, this is not working, because every 2 seconds I was cleaning the last process off of the bench and moving it, and I had nowhere to lay any of the finished knives or the in between the staging. I had nowhere to put anything, and so since a couple weeks before Blade Shows, when I've been ready to do this. Now I didn't get kick-started on that until the idea of an apprentice was put into my head. I had been planning to teach somebody anyway, and I had somebody tell me that they were ready, and it's been a couple months. So I reckon that is out of the window for now. It's not out the window forever. It's just for now. And as soon as I had gotten that call is when I kicked off the rearrange in the shop. I was like, I already can't move around in here. There's no space for me. There's not going to be space for anyone else in here either. At least not over my shoulder like they need to be. But doesn't matter, because I need to be flowing better anyway. And for a long time, I have been anti getting my kids into this, and I still am. That hasn't changed. For a long time, I've been like that. But I guess I never really considered whether or not my kids wanted to do it on their own. And given the experience that I've had with the whole working with family thing, I don't want my kids to have to do what I do just because that's what I do. I just don't. I don't want my kids to. I don't want to go there. But I gave my oldest the choice and said, do you want to learn how to do this? And I want you to know right off the bat, it's not that I don't want you, and it's not that I don't want to deal with you or want to teach you, but I don't want you here for for you know the reasons, and she does. But I just want you to know that going in, and I will teach you the best that I can. I've been told that I'm a great teacher, so maybe it'll be easy for me to teach somebody. I don't know. But I've given my kids the option. It's an option. It's not required, and I don't want you to feel like it is. I don't want you to choose this option. I don't want you to choose this option, and that's what I told them. But if you want to, then I'm not going to stop you. I do enjoy making knives, and I had a conversation with a customer who came up from a little south of here. Chuck, thanks for dropping by the shop this week. It was good talking with you. He came to pick up a knife and see the shop, and he got to see it when it was a nice proper mess. The sawdust everywhere, but everything was set up, and we were in the middle of cleaning, but we had this conversation about, do you enjoy what you do? I've been at odds with myself for a very long time on whether or not I do actually truly enjoy what I do. And the answer is maybe not in a sense that other knife makers enjoy knife making. See, I like to put tools in the hands of working people. And that's where I find joy in it. Not necessarily each individual knife. But there are knives that I do enjoy making. I enjoy the project. There are knives that I just don't enjoy making. There really are. The First Strike is one of my favorite knives. It's the most satisfying when it's finished and everything goes together perfect. And it is one of my least favorites to make, just because there's extra work into it, and they take forever. It's all kind of a pain in the neck anyway. Especially the Nitro V First Strikes. They are not the definition of fun to me. It would be much easier if those were laser or water jet cut, and I wouldn't have to go through the process of profiling those, because profiling something like this is a lot easier than trying to profile something with a double integrated guard, and it's not fun to me. But I do enjoy my job. Burnout is a real thing. I was burnt out on making knives for years. I can't say that I'm not burnt out now. My driving factor is hunger, and there's bills to pay. I have a job, I have a profession here, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. And don't worry, I put my heart into every single knife, and I believe they speak for themselves. But there's an extent to the joy. Having an organized and clean and functioning shop is gonna help me enjoy this a whole lot better. Not being frustrated with your environment is a biggie, that's for sure. You get burnt out when you're already overstretched, and you keep having to add little things to your list every day, every single day that you go in. So it's going to be definitely relieving. Anyway, we are ready to make a giant push. I am geared up for it now. I am ready to kick off the Lone Stars. Those will be dropping in the next 2 weeks. I will do everything in my power to make sure that they get dropped. I doubt that it'll be this Friday, but I would like to see the drop next Friday. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I would like to start working on the Counter-Strike. So here's the thing with the Counter Strike. I need 1.5 inch steel, 1.5 inch width steel for that model, for that design. And I have some in ADCR-V2, but I did not have any in Nitro V. And I had thought that I wanted to make it slightly more compact. I don't want it this size, that's for sure, because I mean, we're still in the realm of the current First Strike size. But I want the Counter Strike to be more adventure sized, and it's not going to be quite adventure sized because it's got a little integrated guard going on. But as far as overall goes, I mean, in a general area of size, I do want it to be around the adventure. And the adventure uses 1.25, 1.25 stock. And I have a bunch of that. And New Jersey was out of the 1.5 inch stock. And they're still out of the 1.5 inch stock for Nitro V and AEBL. So it kind of held me up on experimenting further with the Counter Strike. I did profile one. Well, I attempted a design out of the 1.25 inch stock. I thought maybe I can make it just slightly more compact than what I have on paper. I drew it out on paper. That's what I showed on the Knife Junkies podcast. If you're interested, that is out. Knife Junkies is the name of that channel. Bob, it was a great time talking with you, and I appreciate you having me on if you come out to this video. But anyway, the Counter Strike gave me a little trouble, and I was hoping to have that dug into by June. Things have not worked out the way that I had hoped, and of course I just spent a week doing the shop overhaul, but it's worth it. We just talked about all that. But timing wise, it was a little weird, and it isn't where I had hoped to be. Is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. We'll move on. The Counter Strike is coming, but it may be just a second. I promise you it's coming though. I'm very excited for that model, and it's one that I've had up my sleeve for a long time and I just have not done. But anyway, the Lone Star comes first. I'm ready. I've already got all the steel for it. I'm ready to get moving on it, and I think it's going to be a banger of a utility knife. And I will make a video on the first one when I get it done, and we'll talk about where Zach's mind was on the designing of that, and where we intend for it to go. But anyway, once those two are done, expect an adventure drop, an adventure Mustang Hornet. Pretty much right now everything is a Nitro V, because I have a whole stack of blades at home or at the shop that are all heat treated. Everything's ready to move into the next stage. So I have I got a sheet of the double green from Macecraft, the double green canvas micarta. I used to do this a while back. I used to get all my micarta from Macecraft, and I might go back to that because current composites micarta is spotty, although Macecraft doesn't have the same color, so I will still be using some from Current Composites. But the green from Current is not amazing, and the double green is way better. Does that mean that I won't be using the green from Current? Probably not. I'll probably still be using it, but I did get a sheet of double green. Some of you may have remembered that. I would like to do a lot of these adventures and Mustangs, Hornets, all the things that I have sitting on the bench. I've got about 25 blades sitting on the bench. They're all extras and what I call buddy blades. Essentially just spot fillers for the kiln when I'm doing a heat treat. Like when I have orders, I won't just heat treat one, especially if it's stainless. I'll make sure that I have at least 2 or 3 or a full plate for the plate quench. A full plate makes me happy, and I don't feel like I'm wasting so much energy. But anyway, I ended up with about 25 extra blades from doing that over the past few weeks. There's only just 2 or 3 orders in the book. So if you've got an order, unless it is an intricate order, I will have you done as soon as possible. I have one order that I've got the blades heat treated. I've just got to grind them and get them ready for handles, but I've been waiting on a particular handle material to come in, and it's supposed to be here Tuesday. So I'll be able to complete that order. And then I have a couple little odds and ends, like leather saddles for cheeds and things like that to do. Ooh, excuse me. It is quite chilly today, and the rain is driving me insane. Anyway, we're gearing up for this big push because I think we're going to try and get out of here. I would really like to start fresh somewhere new. At the beginning of this year, what we were going to do was quite uncertain. And I really I didn't feel like I was ready to leave here yet. I mean, financially we weren't anyway, so it didn't matter. But over the past couple weeks, over the past week and a half, it's become quite apparent that there's nothing for me here. There's nothing for us here. We've been trying to just move on with our lives and get away from the whole situation, but you know, I keep running into people, and I don't feel like we're able to rise above it. I just don't feel like we're able to rise above it. We've tried really, really, really hard to just move on. And it's disheartening when you talk to somebody that used to be your friend, and I don't know, hell, we didn't expect anything of anyone but a few more knives in the back. It's not enjoyable to add to that collection, because I got a good collection back there. And I don't want to have that good collection back there. It just doesn't seem like I'm ever going to be able to get away from all of it until we really, truly get away. Is that going to happen? I don't know. There are fewer and fewer people that I'm going to miss here, that's for sure. There are fewer and fewer people. And without just a couple of people helping us out, hell, we wouldn't even be where we are right now. And I'm going to miss them. And I appreciate you. But I think we are admitting to ourselves it's finally time to move on and set up shop and life somewhere else. That is now I think became our new goal. So, as goofy as it seems to set this shop up the way it is now, I mean, I'm going to be taking all of it with me, you know, so it'll be really nice to have in the next shop. The only thing is like the wiring, but you know, I wanted to leave this shop better than what it was when I got to it. So I'll definitely be doing that. I'll be happy when I go to know that the shop is clean and all the wiring's great. Everything's good. All the little kinks that needed to be ironed out got ironed out. And hopefully same goes for the house that we're staying in too. Hopefully I'll be able to leave it a little better than what it was when I got here. Not to say there was anything wrong with it. Just we had to do some finishing on some things. So, you know, that's our goal. Make it better than it was when you got there. But I think we are really, truly ready to just move on. Because, I mean, despite our positivity with, despite our best efforts to move on and rise above everything that's gone on, this place just drags us down. And I was on the phone with a friend and supporter. His name's Eric, and he's from Scotland. And Eric, if you're watching, I'm sorry I haven't given you a call. I don't have any excuse. We've been so dang busy. Not an excuse. But Eric told me when he left his homeland that when you're okay, when you are not okay with everything that's changing in your home, in your homeland, your hometown, whatever, when you're okay with it, when you're not okay with it and everybody else is, then you became the outsider. We feel like outsiders in our hometown now. So I'm ready to go make home somewhere else. I'm excited that all of this shop change is drawing to an end. We're just about to our max potential for this shop. At least the front two rooms are definitely at their max potential for this shop. I just can't get any better than what I've got with what I've got. So I have no complaints, but it's fueling me, it's driving me. I'm geared up to make some big strides. So keep an eye out. Very Good Knife Company is either gonna make some massive strides or we're gonna make some massive strides into the dirt. That's not gonna happen. We're gonna make some big strides. Big things are gonna happen. I'm gonna be putting out, my goal is to put out more knives than I ever have. So I'm just blabbing at this point. I haven't done a video in so long. Kind of forgotten how to flow and speak. It's easy to do when you don't talk very much at all to anyone. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.